Are you in the thick of your writing process, but finding yourself losing energy as you're writing? Hi, this is Amanda Rooker, Executive Editor at SplitSeed, and today's writing tip is number 5 in our series on the creative process, and number 5 is weeding. Now, if you've been following our tips on the creative process, you might be wondering, when is it that I actually get to write? These are about all these different practices that I'm doing in my life, but none of them are actually about the writing process. What I usually tell writers is that you know you're ready to start writing your first draft when you can see the concept of your book as an image in your head. And for some of you, that image may have appeared right when you got the seed of the idea. You could see in an instant the full picture of what your book was going to be about, in which case it would be a great time to start writing. And for some of you, you might have received it as you spent more time in the source as time went on, and then you got the full picture of what your book was about. But I encourage people to start writing whenever you have that clear image of your full book concept in front of you. And so usually at about this point in the creative process is when people have started writing their first draft. They have a clear picture of their book process, and they're really in the thick of growing their idea. So in terms of an analogy with gardening, it's truly like the plant is broken through the surface and it's starting to grow. Now, if you've ever gardened, you also know that if you put a plot of soil in plenty of sun and rain, other things besides the seeds you plant will also start to grow, like weeds. So it's very important to be diligent about visiting your garden and pulling out the weeds that can threaten to choke out the growth that you've so carefully nurtured so far. And the same is true in the creative process. For us as creative thinkers, the weeds are our negative thoughts or beliefs that can distract us from the writing process or from the creative process. Beliefs like, I can't do this. This is taking too long. I don't know what I'm doing. Why did I ever start this? This is a bad idea. Negative thoughts that choke out the growth and distract you from the sometimes long-term process that writing is. These are the weeds that we have to pull out. So how do we pull out these weeds, these negative beliefs and thoughts? We simply imagine them as literal weeds in our garden. If you can imagine your idea growing like a plant in your garden and these negative beliefs as weeds threatening to choke out the life that you've so carefully nurtured, simply imagine yourself pulling those weeds out of your garden so you can see your garden as a clear place that's hospitable for growing the idea that you're working on and that you are in the process of writing about in the form of a book. So element 5 is weeding. For more tips, visit us at split-seed.com, and if this tip was helpful for you, feel free to share it with a writer that you know.